Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Deuce Gorgon from Monster High. For this pattern, you're going to need a hook, some light green, dark green, a little bit of gray, brown for the boots, black for the pads and vest, and some skin tone. You'll also want a pair of scissors on hand to finish off the hair. And for the eyes, I'm going to be using a couple of small green pony beads today. Our hook is going to be in the offset configuration, so middle row above the other two. And we're going to start by making the arms. Take a skin tone band, and we're going to wrap it on the hook 1, 2, 3 times, and pull that onto 2 skin tone bands. And this is going to go onto 7 sets of double light green bands. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And before we make the other arm, let me just show you how to do the little cuff. You're going to take a single dark green, stretch it out, pull it over top of the hand, and we're going to do the way you would do a ponytail. Pull it to the side, twist it around, bring it back over. Pull, twist, back over, and you can do it a 4th time if you want, and you're just going to bring the pieces together. You can always do this looser or tighter, or if you want it thicker, you can add a second one. Okay, let's do the other arm same way. Single skin tone wrapped 1, 2, 3 times. Pull that onto 2 skin tone bands, and then onto 7 sets of double light green bands. One, 2, 3. I'm gonna get a couple of stretchy ones for that, I think. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's get a green cuff band again. Over the arm, twist 1, 2, and an optional 3 times around here. Bring the pieces together and move it down. You can put this on a separate hook if you want, or leave it here. And we're going to make the boots. Pull out a couple of stretchy ones here. Okay, so let's take 2 brown bands, put them on the end of the hook, twist around 1, 2, 3 times, pull that onto 2 more brown bands, and what I'm going to do is keep this on my finger at my left hand, pinch the hook over the bands that are there, and I'm going to take 2 more bands onto the end of the hook, twist 1, 2, 3 times, and put the other end that's on my finger, the piece on my finger, back on the hook. And we're going to put this onto 3 sets of double brown bands. Oops. Oh dear. Sliding off. Sorry guys, give me a second. Let's do a quick fix here. Okay, let's try that again. So slide all of that onto 2 brown bands and try to keep it in order as best you can. And then we want 2 more sets of double brown. For a total of 3. Okay, and this goes on to 9 sets of double black bands. This is for the legs here. So take 2 bands, slide it through, second set, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and for the next leg we'll do the same thing. 2 brown bands on the hook, twist 1, 2, 3 times. I'm doing an extra one because those are stretchy. Pull it onto 2 brown bands. Hold it there and wrap 2 more in the middle together. Did that one about 3 times. Put the other end back on. Pull this onto 3 sets of double brown bands. I just did that again, didn't I? How about that? Too early in the day, my brain's not full of functioning here. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, and 3. 9 sets of double black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're going to go to the loom and we'll make our body now. Okay, top of the loom, you want 2 skin tone bands to come from the top center to the top right. Or sorry, top center to the top, so the second down in the center. There we go. Now the next ones are going to be 2 grays from the second center to the second right. Double bands. 2 from the second center to the second left. And 2 grays coming down the middle. And we switch to green, but we're going to double over our green bands. So let's see if we can find a couple stretchy ones. Stretch it, twist it, put it back on top. This will come from the second side down. We're going to repeat this on the middle row and on the opposite side. And what this does, tightening it up here, it's going to make it look like a smaller piece, so it won't be as long. You'll see the green, but it won't overpower the black or the other bands. And we're going to do 2 sets of black double bands coming down each row. So take 2 bands, come down 3rd to 4th peg and 4th to 5th peg on each of the sides. And in the middle we're going to come down twice as well, starting at the 4th peg down. And now we switch to light green, and we'll come down 1, 2, 3 times on each of the rows. And our next set is going to be dark green, and it's going to be doubled over bands again. So single, stretch it, twist it, bring it over onto itself, and come down once on each row. This one here. And then we're going to have double bands, black, coming down once on each row. And this should take you to the 4th peg, like if you're counting up from the bottom of the loom, this is the 4th peg up on either side, the 3rd peg up on the middle, and then you'll know you've gotten the right length here if you're using a standard loom. You're going to take a single black band, double it over, put it on the end of your hook, and slide both of your legs on top of that. And this will go across from that 4th peg from the bottom on one side to the 4th peg from the bottom on the other side, just like so. Your arms can be placed now onto the 2nd peg down on either side. And for holding bands, I just used single triangle bands. I'll show you how to do that. If you want the body to be tighter, you can double over your bands. But all of mine were single, and we're just going to lay them down. Light green one over, okay, if you go up from the black to the top, okay, this is the 5th peg up from the bottom of the loom, or the 9th peg down. You're going to stretch a dark green band across and bring it up over the center. We're going to use a light green for the next 3. Actually, the next 4 we can do that. So we're just bringing it across and bringing it up over the center. Then we're going to use a black one and another black one. We want to try to match these bands to the bands on the outside as best we can. Okay, so we are ready to loop up the body. We're going to start on this side, and what you're going to do is push back the band that's holding the leg, grab the next 2 bottom black bands and bring them up and onto the next peg. Push back this triangle holding band, so go underneath it, through it, get your next 2, and they're going up. We're trying to get the bottom 2 bands everywhere we go and nothing else. So you need to literally push back, reach in, grab forward. We're going to go straight up to the 2nd peg from the top. From here you want to reach under through the arm and get the grays and bring them to the center 2nd peg. And we're going to loop up the opposite side doing the exact same thing. Just watch you're catching 2 bands each time you go. And go through the arm, get the bottom 2 gray, bring them to the center. And we're going to go back to the bottom under the legs. We're going to loop straight up. So go to the 3rd peg up, grab those 2 black bands. They're sitting under the legs, and bring them forward across the band with the legs. Push back the next one and get your doubled over green. So even though it's a single band, you're going to have to pull 2 loops over, and it's going to be a little tight, so just be careful. We're going to loop straight up the rest of the way. There shouldn't be anything else in your way until you get to the second peg, and then you're just going to push through right to the bottom. Okay, so reach in for the bottom 2 skin tone, loop them around and forward. Hold on to the bands on the top peg, or put them on a hook or a C-clip, and we're going to remove the rest of this from the loom. You just don't want to let those top ones slip. And as I always like to say, if you see any loose bands as you go, try to catch them quickly, and hopefully you can resolve the problem before things start unraveling. But I mean, really, hopefully there's no problem at all and you've caught everything. Took me a long time to get the hang of that. Okay, hook through the top center, and you can use your fingers or another hook to carefully remove the rest. Okay, so let's make the hair and the face. And I didn't take notes on how I did this, so hopefully we can remember. You're going to take 2 light green hair colored bands, top center to top side, 2 top center to the other side, and I do believe we came down 2 times. So let's do 2 sets of double hair colored bands down on each of the rows. Again, if you want this to look a little bit shorter, tighter, you can always do 1 set less, or double them over, or you can always make it longer, the forehead section longer, by having an extra set. This is so funny, I can't tell if this is 2 or 3. This does look like 3, doesn't it? We're going to leave it at 2 though. I'll leave you an annotation if there's an issue with this. We're going to come down 3 times on the center, starting at the 3rd peg down, double skin tone bands. And twice on either side with double skin tone. Skin tone from the 5th side to the 6th center, and the same on the opposite side. Let me just see if we can tell. I think I did use doubled over holding bands. So take a single skin tone, stretch it, double it, bring it back across your 5th pegs down. This is optional. It's just going to make the face a little bit tighter, but you don't have to have it doubled over. The same on that next set, and the same on the set above. And we're going to do green. Got 1 more for that, so doubled over single, or just a straight single if you want. Bring it across the 2nd pegs down. For the eyes, I'm just using a couple of beads. You can also use bands. If you're using bands, take each and rub it 3 times on the hook and pull them both onto a single skin tone. And I'm going to put that across the 3rd peg to the 3rd peg down, separate the eyes, get in between, and bring part of that band under the 4th peg down. Let's put on the body. That's going to go on the 6th peg down where your sort of chin is. That last skin tone that you've used in the middle. I'm running short of time here. Okay, let's do the hair. And what we're doing for the hair, so you're going to take a dark green band for the snake. You're going to take a light green band for the hair. And what we're going to do is bring the dark green through. See if there's an easier way to do this by hook here. Okay, dark green on the hook, light green on, slide your other green on top. other way. Okay, light green. Slide your dark green through, put the other dark green on, and pull one side of your dark green over the other to create a slip knot. Now you can put more than one hair snake on each hair section, but you don't have to. Now what we do, and you want to make sure this is tight, give it a good tug. Take your light green, wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4 times nice and tight on your hook. And we're going to put this onto a string of doubled over single bands. All my bands are going to get stretched out. And I used a total of 10 per section. So that's going to make 9 doubled over bands we're putting this onto. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I'm just going to do 9 this time, but I did do 10 the first round, which is what I would recommend. And we're going to make 2 more of these. Okay, so you take a single dark green. How do we do this? We put light green on the hook, put the dark green on, slide it through the light green, put the other end on top, and pull one side of the green over to create a slip knot. Now you go through your light green, loop it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And this is going to go on to, again, 9 to 10 sets of doubled over light green. So slide it over 1, 2. If you're having a really hard time with this, you can always do a single chain or a double chain. But this is going to give it that nice tight look. You could also do this on the loom, and to do that you would just lay the bands down lengthwise and kind of loom it up, and then with the snake at the end, and then you can add more and loom it from there. Maybe that's how we'll do our next one, just to show you. Let's do another 3. Okay, so I'll show you the loom way as well while we're at it. You could always do this on an empty loom if you've got one, or if you want to do it on here if you're having a hard time with the hook. Double it over, just put it on the side there, and we'll go down to the end of the loom that way. It makes it a little easier to count to this way too, I guess. 3, 4, oops. 5, 6. Now you would take your green, go through that last set, slide the green through, around, and pull one side over the other. Now this one we actually wanted really a lot tighter, right? So this green you might want to try to loop around a couple of extra times. And in this case, or actually in this case what we would do is we would have to add, I have another idea. Okay, let's do our yellow, our green on the hook, slide it through, slide it over, and now this we'll use this to cap it off. So that's going to be 1 in the cap, will be our first of the set, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll take that off, and then what you can do is either lay out another 8 and 9, or you can do that on the hook again. I'll show you here as well since we're doing this way. So 8 and 9. And now we transfer this, reach through, and loop up 2 more times. I just like the hook better. Gives me a little more freedom, a little more speed. And these are all going to go into a doubled over single hair color. And we're going to put this onto the top center of the loom. And we're ready to loop up now. So you're going to reach under this body piece we've attached, find the top 2 bands, and they're going to come back to the side closest to me here. The next 2 we're starting with, because what you're going to do, you're going to pull back this cap and find the next 2 that are closest up. So the next one closest to the top is going to the right. There are actually 2 bands going that way, so we'll grab both of those. And the last 2 are going to go up. And we're just going to loop up on the sides the same way we did the body. Go under the side skin, get the bottom 2 skin tone bands, and loop straight to the very, very top, bottom 2 bands only. And we will be doing the exact same thing for the other side. So other side, reach in, get your bottom 2, bring it forward, push back your holding bands, and keep looping forward until you reach the top. Okay, let's loop up the center. So this is the 5th peg down. You're going to reach inside, get the remaining skin tone, push in the band that's holding the eyes, and go underneath that to get your next set, and loop forward 2 more times. And then we're going to come on the top side and loop the last 2 to the middle and the last 2 to the middle. Take a single light green band, get it ready on your left hand, and with your other hand you're going to push your hook through all the bands on the top center peg. Grab that securing band, slide it up and through, and we're going to put the other end on, pull one side over the end of the hook, like the further side. Now you have a slip knot, so you're going to hold on to that as you ease this off of your loom. Now if you've used, if you chose to use whiter or lighter beads and you'd like to draw on a black pupil with a Sharpie, you can do that at any point. I'm just going to leave mine the way they are. Compress your eyes through and turn this around a little bit so that everything's facing the right way. And you can put your hair on a C-clip at the back, or you can twist it and put it over the braids. Twist it, put it over the braids, and have it like a ponytail. There are 2 more steps. One is the black ponytail holder. So for that, you're just going to take a black band, stretch it a little, pull it over the braids, and you can twist it and pull it over the braids a second time. And you can do this a couple of times until it's as tight as you'd like it to be, and then sort of pull it into the place where you want it to sit. And we want them to be all together here. This one's kind of tight in there. Let's take that out. I want that to go over. Okay, there we go. And the very last thing, or 2 things actually. I didn't do these tight enough, you can see. So just reattach that snake here. And you can do this if it comes out. You put your hook through the hair end, slide your green through, put the other end on, and re-secure it. Okay, so you can trim those with scissors. And if you want your hair pieces to sit together on the side, what we do is we turn it backwards. You're going to go through the back of the head, just grab a band there, and go through 1 or 2 bands out of each section of the hair. So this is the back that we're looking at. And I'm going through each piece of hair. I'll turn this sideways so you can see it a little better. Then we take a green band, and you're going to put it on the end of your hook with a little bit of tension and slide back through. Put the other end on, pull one side under the other, and you can wrap this around your braids or put it onto a C-clip. You can see my face sort of squished up a little bit because my eyes are so big. So to that end, I think I'm going to recommend that you do single triangles instead of double, because it'll keep it a little looser. But at any rate, there you have made your Deuce Gorgon. And I have a couple of other Monster High characters out. I hope you'll check them out when you have a chance. And thank you so much for watching.